10, 9, 2.
Hello, everybody.
Well, hello. Look what the cat dragged back from China. Doc is back. We've got co-host Holly, guest co-host, gracing us with her presence. Holly, thanks for coming. Doc, what's up, dude? Okay, fine, you're back in the country now. You don't have anything else, so you show up.
Maybe you never know. I might still be here in China.
No, I don't know. I don't think they have racks like that. Oh, we got Pat saying hey in the chat. So speaking of Pat Zarpart, so we got Pat Zarpart from Reptile Ads, which is an auction site.
Yes,
He's joining us for the show. What's that?
I'm so glad to have Pat on today.
Yes, I am glad to have Pat here too. I'm excited to hear what Pat has to say about what's going on with Reptile Ads. And then we'll probably have to talk about Rafi's trip to China and all the wonderful things he had to eat over there. So we don't keep people waiting. Let's bring on Pat Zarpat to the show. Pat.
Yo, what's up, Fresh and Fresh?
It's the Zach Attack. Hey, Amber, thanks for stopping by. First one, I think, besides the Zach Attack.
What? No,
the Pat Attack.
Like 17. What?
No, this is just a glitch. This is just a glitch in the system. We probably have 1 million viewers. This is just like it's not showing the zeros.
That's true. There's 2 zeros behind that one. Yeah, I see it on mine. I don't know if you guys see it, but there's so many people in the chat. The chat's blowing up. I can't even keep up.
Okay. So I think I was all like, hey, if anybody could give me the link so I could give it to people so they would come and watch. And I think everybody ignored that message.
No.
Let's not say everybody. We have people watching it. So shout out to the people that are watching, even though there are only 2.
No, 200. It's 200.
Exactly.
So Pat, somebody from Brazil was supposed to do the thumbnail. Yeah, well, there you go. Doc's fault. So we're blaming Doc. He just got back from China. He hasn't had any sleep. Perfect.
What do you mean? I did the thumbnail.
You got to upload it.
Huh?
You have to upload it.
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that I had to upload it. I created it.
You just think it's gonna magically appear?
No, I'm just an entity that shows up and
sometimes
do stuff.
Up. Slacker.
We love you, Doc. I hate to say that in front of others, but it's true. Todd, thank you for stopping by again. Awesome. You guys want some awesome colubrids? Go talk to Todd. He's got some crazy stuff. His snake room's killer too, by the way.
What kind of colubrids?
The awesome ones. Lowe's Exotics, thanks again for stopping by. I hope that one egg made it. You know the egg we're talking about. Wait, did it make it? Did I just do a faux pas and talk about the deceased? Did your egg make it? Yeah, there was no.
And girl.
Sad.
Appreciate it.
Does Doc even know how to log into YouTube?
Say that again.
Does Doc even know how to log into YouTube?
I'm not sure he knows what YouTube is.
What is YouTube? It's actually, you know what? All of this is prohibited in China. So there you go. There is no WhatsApp. There is no YouTube. There is no Instagram. No StreamYard. So let's say that I'm still here. To be honest, I don't even know how to upload a freaking thumbnail on StreamYard. I'm not gonna lie. I thought Travis was gonna upload it.
Hey, this is what happens when you got two guys with ADHD trying to organize shit. It doesn't get organized.
Zach, I'm here.
Well, see
That's why we have a show sometimes.
And we have a third.
We keep everybody on their toes. At least it's Tuesday.
And Zach is holding his tongue because Travis kept bitching if Zach and I join a show, he is never gonna be able to talk. So like he's holding like his peace so you can talk.
No, I'm actually over here finding the link for the channel, searching it, sharing it, getting the link now that the show is going on, and sharing it to the groups that we're all in that y'all did not share it to. So somebody will come on here and talk to me.
I'll talk to you. Hey, I've got more rats for you. When are you going to come pick them up?
Whenever I can make Natalie do it.
Who's that?
You haven't talked to
Oh,
Natalie?
that's right. She lives over by you guys, doesn't she? She's not too
Yes.
far from you, Holly.
Yes, she was. I don't know. She said that she's like she was going to get some ASFs or something from you. She's
the
like,
girl on. Okay, yeah. I think I know who you're talking about.
yeah, I didn't know that you knew her. She's my new employee.
Well, she asked me if I shipped, and I was like, no, I'm not going to ship ASFs.
Well, I don't know. New employee sounds degrading. It's like she's
Are you paying her?
the person who's working for me now or working with me.
Intern.
She's an intern.
No, she gets paid. She gets paid.
She's a paid intern. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Put her to work.
My wife quit. My wife, she put in her notice in January, and she was like, I'm actually serious. And I was like, oh, I thought you were joking. Okay.
So a good question for you guys, since Holly sells you live rodents, and how far are you guys from each other, roughly?
About 30 minutes.
Yeah, 30, 45 minutes.
About 30 miles.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, actually, from my house, it's only like 30 minutes. Yeah.
on a hot day, you have a bunch of rodents on a bin that you have to, or 2 or 3 bins. How do you transport them so they don't overheat from one location to another?
So, first of all my stuff stays in the air conditioner. My garage has air conditioner in it. But whenever you do haul, it's always it's not the law, but I've hauled long hauls with them, and I don't put no more than 25 to a bin.
But let's say that you have, I don't know if you had it before, let's say that you have a 300 animal delivery, like how do you separate the bins apart? Do you have do you transport in those reptile no, not the freedom breeder, they have like some special boxes, or just like bins with?
We use the heavy duty Rubbermaid bins, and I cut the top out and I put mesh there, and then the outside has holes all around it, up on the top, so they can't get a hold of it and chew it. But it's still only 25 to a bin because they overheat so fast.
You know what I've seen a lady picking up from me? She actually created like a Rubbermaid. She got like a Rubbermaid like top, and she created like a lid with like a wooden lid with a built-in fan, like exhaust fan, so she can plug into her car. Like she has like an outlet in her car, and she has like those fans circulating, just like pulling off the heat from the bin. So I think that was pretty smart.
I just think if you get pulled over by a game warden or something like that, they're not picky and strict with us, but it looks better if you haul smaller in separate bins. So
yeah, airflow's got a lot to do with it and stuff, and it depends on what you're hauling with, what your tub looks like. Like I've got a big old stack of Freedom Breeder rodent transport tubs, but they're like this big, and they're like Swiss cheese, but it's like little bitty holes. They don't vent for like it's
exactly.
And
I had those before.
Good airflow, so I can only put like 20, 25 mediums in there, and they just kind of like walk out of it whenever they want to. So I use the ones I use are from Home Depot. It's the big, heavy duty, hefty ones with like the
black
turbo, like super thick yellow lids.
Mm-hmm.
And I razor out the entire top of it, and I just leave a lip this
Right
big
back. I'm gonna go take a
all the
picture.
way around, and I put rat cloth on the entire top of it. The hardware cloth that you use, and like if you're making your own homemade rack. And like once a year, I have to replace the bottoms. They don't ever get up to the top to mess those up, but they'll start chewing around the corners on it just a little bit. So I replace those like once a year.
What kind of cloth is this you're talking about?
It's not cloth, it's hardware cloth, the small metal square stuff that they put on homemade rat racks.
Okay. All right.
But like the whole lid is like that, and I use the one that's a little more shallow. They're about this tall.
Yeah.
They can get out if they jump real high, but they can't walk out of them. And because they're so low, and it's basically the whole freaking top is basically open, I can run those like 50 or 60 to a tub. And even in Texas summer heat, like there's no problem. But they're in my Suburban, with the air conditioner blowing on them too. And I have no problem at all. Whenever I ran the Freedom Reader tubs, or I used to have taller tubs, the air didn't get down in there as good, and I couldn't run as many. But my tubs are huge. They're like, they're really big ones.
Yeah.
But I use that because I pick up feeders from a big distributor about 30 minutes away from my facility once a week. And I transport like 200 to 400, depending on the week, every week.
And you have rear air in your Suburban, right?
Oh yeah. It's got the dual air zones and everything. It's doesn't matter. It's just Texas, dude. It's max. It's all max.
Yeah. Yeah. I grew up in Louisiana for a little bit. Yeah. It was always full on air conditioning all the time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen something like that, but she made a wooden lid, so you have the mesh on all sides. Like the wooden lid fits like outside of the bin,
Mhm.
and she had like a built-in like fan that I don't know if it was exhausting or if it was blowing air inside of the. And that's all she did. She sells like rodents in reptile shows, and she provides like a lot. She was like actually buying my overage just because her production was not enough to fulfill her customer orders. So that's what she was doing.
I knew that was for you.
So, Zach,
These fucking guys.
what is new with the auction site? Reptile Ads.
Reptile Ads. Does Darian own that? Darian.
No, give us the latest scoop.
Just been chugging along with quality of life stuff as it comes up. Everything's been running really smooth. We had a nice uptick. Our growth rates have been crazy. We're really close to 1,000 users now. I think last time I looked, we were like 893 or 897. We started running our paid ads back at Tinley because it was really beta test in the beginning. So everything, if you got an inquiry or anything before Tinley, it was community driven, and and just all you guys, everybody. Which we did have. We had sales happening and stuff, but now that we have paid ads running, there's inquiries coming in daily. It's hard to track every single sale because, not everybody uses the buy now and stuff. And a lot of people, you see people like, hey, shoot me a text message. And we keep that stuff. It's in there. Some of the other sites will do things to keep you on site. But if you direct people off site, we just, you end up paying to be there on the site. We don't care where you finish the transaction at.
Okay.
But we've measurable new inquiries coming in daily. Foot traffic's going up daily. We did a ad placement with Adam Wickens, and that went really good. We got almost 250 users off of that. And we got more users off of one ad post with Wickens than we did from every dollar of ad spend that we've had in since we started. And
How was that? How was that?
Inquiries sent that day. Like, and that's not just messages. That's actual 32 individual inquiries sent that day. That was our biggest day yet. You know, and that's a serious number. You know, I mean, we'll be like there if we're getting 30 to 50 new inquiries a day. You know, that's something to hope to be at in the next year or two. But it's growing. You know, we're smoothing stuff out. Got the apps. The apps have been out now for a month or two. We've pretty much got all the kinks worked out with it.
Those apps run real smooth, man. It's super, super fast. Super fast.
I got like 2 users. Like, yeah, if you don't have the app, just go to the website. There's a little button at the top. It'll direct you to the app to the sites to download them now. And that's iOS and Android. And the new platform. So like, if you got a problem with other sites, apps, you're stuck with them because they have to roll out a whole new version. And it's like a thing with the platforms that we built on. My guys can roll out changes and have them out the next morning. And, 48 to 72 hours on iOS, just because they're a little slow on their updates, but it goes straight out. And half the time we don't even have to do that. We can fix a lot of the stuff from the back end. We just update it on the site and it automatically pushes it to there without us having to do a new app version. I mean, it's a little technical, nerdy side of it, but it makes it to where if someone's like, oh, this is kind of glitchy, this is buggy, you're not waiting for a company now to hopefully roll out a new version of the app in the next 3 to 9 months. You're talking about, 1 to 3 days, depending on how fast we can jump on it. If it's a true bug or not. If it's a true bug, it's usually like 24 to 48 hours. So that's been going good. I think we've only had 3 or 4 bugs reported in the last week or two. So they're getting real nil. I invite anybody to go on there and try to break something. And if you find it, drop a bug report, we'll get it fixed. Just going good and steady, slow and steady wins the race. As we're doing paid ads, we're getting more users. As we're getting more users, we're getting more shoppers, more foot traffic. We're on Google now. So we've been on Google, but our SEO got traffic. I don't know a whole lot about it, but if anyone knows about SEO, they're like, oh, this guy's an idiot. But so we were told it was going to take us years to score with SEO because we're a new site. There's so many out there that do it. But certain categories, the categories that we filled are released first, and the stuff that was seeded first is already now, just as of like 2 or 3 weeks ago, started showing up in the first page. We got our very first page result. And it not only shot to the first page, it shot to the first page within one spot of Morph Market. So it was Morph Market, another company, and then us. And so since then, we've ticked off a few more, have moved to the front page, and it's getting there way, way faster than everyone told us it was possible. We knew we could with the new software, and we have a really good SEO guy. But, the other guys are like, oh, you're not going to be able to do that. That's what's going to put you back. And it's like getting there to where people search ball python for sale and you see Reptile Ads up there in the first, top 3, really the top 5, but really the top 3. That's a big deal. And so we're working on that. That's getting better every day as long as we keep doing stuff.
So what are your thoughts on future pricing structure for different types of accounts and things like that? I know you've got that posted up there, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yes. So we do have the pricing page. Everybody can look at that. That's going to be pretty much on point. I don't really think we're going to move the price point at all between now and October when we actually turn on the paywall.
Okay.
Some of the features we might tweak and adjust a little bit, and some of the numbers we might adjust a little bit as we get, groans and discomfort, and we look and see where where our base falls at. If we find that, like this one little thing is keeping all of these people out of this tier, we might make some small adjustments as we get closer, tweak a 75 limit to an 80 or 85 limit, something like that. A big one I know we're looking at is the free tier. And that's me. That's a decision on me. I've got it set at 3 right now, but I've been seriously heavily contemplating setting up, moving that up to 5 animals. For possibly for the next year or two, just to keep the free level a little more.
I hate feed
community in there, but I don't know. I got to see where that's at. the end of the
Rafi,
day,
why are you doing that? What the hell is wrong with you?
at the end of the day, we do have to charge somebody.
I thought I got the wrong subject. He was talking about feet, and I just got mine.
No,
Why are we losing viewers?
Well,
these are good. These are good feet.
No, put it away. God bless America. Why do I put up with this guy?
I don't know what I was talking about.
What about these?
Those are much better.
Shush, baby.
Those are much better. Much better.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, go back to the dog. That is probably better than all of this content.
Yeah, put the dog in the chair. Rafi, you can go take a break. The dog will ask better questions. The dog's English is better, actually. That's the thing.
Oh my gosh.
So
the dog
question
uses the
for you.
bathroom at the same place where Rafi was using it last week. That's for sure.
So I know I've asked you this before. I know what your answer was, but I'm going to see if you changed your mind. What kind of metrics are you going to make publicly available for the folks that are selling? I know I put you on the spot.
Well, and we've looked long and hard at analytics and, and where we prioritize that, when we're going to bring that kind of stuff out, and that's a big thing is because, there's no point in pushing heavy on analytics to analyze data that doesn't exist. So
right, you can compile it.
Things we landed on. So it is coming, and there will be analytics, and we will at least have basic analytics. Right now we've got view. You've got the thumbs up count. The favorite counter on there,
right.
But at least some basic features will be there. Some view counter stuff. Stuff like that, a couple of basic things for like every level except for free. Well, like the view counter on your ads and impressions, like what you're getting possibly with some other places. But that's some good basic stuff where, we're comfortable releasing, hey, let me see how many people are looking at my ads. Let me see how many people are clicking on it. That's some stuff we plan on offering to all tiers except for free. Maybe the $5 a month tier might not get it. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Advanced analytics. We're going to get crazy with our advanced analytics when we release them.
That's what I'm excited about.
Advanced analytics, in my opinion, to a higher tier, if not to the highest tier. I don't know. We'll probably release a little bit more with the breeder level, at least the next to highest tier. Because, we only have 4 tiers. Only 3 of them are paid. So,
right.
It's really inexpensive. So it's like people hear like, oh, you're going to tie it to that. And it's like, it's less than half the price of the premium tier on Morph Market.
Yeah. If you could provide some analytics that aren't currently available, I think that would pull a lot of people. I would love to see I'd like to see what the turnover is. It's one thing to see a number of active listings. It's another thing, in addition to that, to see how long those listings are up, what the average time is.
So there will be a full analytics database page that will have for at least the premium tier, maybe the breeder tier 2. I don't know on that one. Where you'll be able to see like your bounce rate, what they're looking at, how long they're spending on each one of your ads, like your most popular ad this week. These are some basic things that I know we're adding. We haven't finalized the exact final list yet. It's a can that's been kicked post October. The intro stuff that'll happen before October paywall comes out. But realistically, we need eyes and people coming in to look at your stuff before you get a bounce rate. And so that's all stuff that will be released and will be measurable. We're looking at a few things that I don't want to mention because I don't want to see them on other sites before we release them. And that's just all there is to that. But a couple of absolute features that you absolutely don't have anywhere else that will help you to, maintain business and do business better.
Like all the auctions.
For example, one thing that I like, it's not perfect, but one thing that I like that you can maybe improve from Morph Market is it gives you an alert when you need to, for example, as Travis was saying, he wants to be able to track things. So on Morph Market, if you have an animal for so long in there, like a baby, for example, any animal, it kind of prompts you with an alert to update the animal. Then it reminds you that you have to update the weights, for example, on that animal. Let's say that you have that animal for 3 months already in there and you haven't updated the weight, and that person might think that you're underfeeding the animal or something just because you haven't updated the weight on the ad. So if you can put a something from our side that I can put, like, remind me monthly that I have to update the animals, like after I posted, remind me like monthly, put this animal on red, like give like a red dot or something that I can go there and say, okay, this has been like more than a month, I have to update the weights.
So we will have something like that in our premium level dashboard, where it'll show you like your aged ads, what's performing well, what's not performing. That's kind of what you're talking about. It'll show you like your underperformers, your date since updated, your outstanding. That's some stuff I know that we will have. But that will be tied to our higher tiers, and that's one of the things we're putting a decent little bit of some stuff behind some tier walls, and we might get just a little bit of hate about it. But at the end of the day, our prices are 25 to 33-ish%. If you get outside of the premium max level tier, it's 25 to 33% comparably to other ones. And so we're going to have a lot of people on the site potentially making tens and tens of thousands of dollars for a $180 a month membership that they're paying roughly $500 to $600 other places for. So we might put a couple of more premium features that aren't necessarily going to matter to the average person on there behind a paywall. But I don't know where yet. I just know that it'll be above free.
Oh, I'm excited for it. I think that it's going to be good, and I love the metrics. I love analytics because that's what really.
This is
I
the
don't know
face
about
of the man who
you.
forgot the question.
What's that?
I said, does that answer the question? You're talking a little bit, and I'm looking at Doc up there, and I'm like, this is the face of a man who forgot what the question was in the first place.
No, not it didn't answer the question directly, but just
We got it.
you told me that you're gonna have stuff in there, so I'll wait.
Stuff.
I don't want to spoil all your surprise features that you're gonna add to the website.
Nope. I mean, pretty much what you talked about and what you asked for. That's all some of the more simplistic stuff that we will have in there. But
yeah, I want to be able to customize.
Like, I don't know if it's necessarily like. It sounds like you're envisioning it maybe in a different way than we have it, where like it would be somewhere in your back end and like each animal will have its own individual indicator or something. This is going to be more like broad overview dashboard. Like, oh, hey, here's this, here's some outliers and stuff. And we'll have that like linked over where you can, like, oh, here, this animal's, not performing well and stuff. Well, you'll be able to access that animal and link to it from there and stuff like that.
No, I'm excited. I'm looking forward. I got a whole bunch of snakes that I have to post that I've been slacking on.
I think
Did that answer Rafi's question? I don't know. Rafi's been up for 19 days, so
I'm just looking at his face and I'm like, I feel like I lost him or my mic's muted.
No, it's just I'm on my own little monkey with the symbols place. So just thinking about everything that you said.
Monkey with symbols.
he's been
Like, like the little monkey with the
ADHD.
symbols.
Oh, okay.
So Rafi doesn't know if he's coming or going right now.
Oh, to be honest, I told them I finally, like last night I haven't slept like a minute, like I haven't adjusted to the time zone yet.
How long have you been back?
Wednesday.
Oh, man, you've had plenty of time.
No, it took me 2 weeks to adjust there, and when I finally adjusted, I had to come back.
Because you're where you were at, you were like basically almost polar flipped, right? Are they how far off of our time are they? Like 12 hours?
12 hours.
12, yeah, complete polar switch. That's a rough one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes him longer too because he's pushing 60 years old now, Zach. So
hey, it's great. We got to talk so much. He was awake when I was awake for the first time. I'm like, this is nice.
People probably on Morph Market, I had to tell people like when they would send me inquiries and I would like reply at 3 a.m. and or like 3:30 a.m. I would have to say, well, I'm in China. That's why I'm like replying to this odd times and I'm not able to ship anything before I come back. So, but good. I made some sales during my trip, so it was good. Not being here in a different time zone and being able to sell some things. I went to Beijing, Shanghai, and then inside I went to the Shenyang province of where all the chickens are produced in there.
Whoa. So you went to Beijing, you went to Shanghai, and then you went to some little shithole province. And that's the only fucking pictures we got? Was some shithole province pictures?
I always
dumping a poop down the drain?
I always tell people that
he sent everybody.
What?
No, it's not everybody. It's just the two of you.
He's making it out like he's slumming over there, like in some province in the middle of nowhere. He's like, "Oh, I mean, I was in Bang. I was over here in Shanghai."
Well, let me show you
I was at a
the
monk temple. It was real nice. We were like, the Buddhist blessed my head, and like, I mean, it was all
this
gold
is
and
the
rainbows,
type
but I
of
take pictures of that.
type of picture that I have from all of my trips. Pieces of chicken being weighed and measured, and that's the type of picture that I get from my trips. So, or weird. This was
So is that one of those
breakfast.
things where like you don't want to take pictures anymore now after you get done?
This
like,
was breakfast. So,
there were a few cool things you saw there.
Pictures of feet. Pictures with Chinese people.
He didn't even know those people. He just sat down.
Exactly. I just asked, can I take a picture with you?
So what was it like over there, Rob? That was your first time in China?
No, this is the second time in China.
All right. So give us the lowdown. What's China like? Is it a paper tiger? Is it beautiful? Is it a blend? Like, what were your takeaways?
It's a complete blend, just like any other country. You have the very modern part, and for example, I downloaded an app that is used for actual citizens, and you do everything on that app. Like you can make payments. You have like their own Uber type of app. So the app is called Alipay. That is attached to AliExpress. Like it's a company that owns Alibaba and AliExpress. So, but you have to upload your passport to that thing.
I thought he was saying Alipay, and I was all like, "Yeah, he was getting some lady boys with the Alipay."
Oh my god!
No, it is Alipay.
Oh my god!
No, I'm a Western. I can get all the lady boys for free. I just have to promise that I'm gonna bring them to the US. So you pay everything. Like people don't use cash anymore. Like I would say that maybe old people still use cash, like in small villages, but mostly is you scan like barcodes to pay for everything. If you wanna get a soda, like there's no like most of the machines that don't even have a credit card thing to swipe or tap. You scan a QR code and you pay with your phone. So very modern that way, but that's how the government controls what you're spending your money on too, right? So
yeah,
convenience,
your bank account.
Convenience is not always good, but for me, there was a tourist or a working foreigner was good because everything I could access like through my phone and just making all the payments. I saw some
Chinese guy next to you trying to bribe you to buy him a Coke because he's only allotted to have one a day. Every
Yeah,
time I feed me, it tells me I'm dying. Please buy me a
That's
Coke.
right. Your A1C is 5.9. You're only allowed one soda per week.
so they're not there yet, but they can do like they can turn the switch, and that's why it's scary to have like everything online. It can be very scary for any country. Brazil is going that route too, where they have the system called Pix. It's about the same thing. People are like Vamo each other money and stuff like that. So it's kind of tough. But one thing, I was looking on the weekend. I left on a Thursday, and then I arrived Saturday. And I was like trying to look for a reptile store or something just to create some content and just like see how they look like, what kind of species. And I find like it was like a big mall, and I'm gonna make a YouTube video about it. So in the center of one of the floors, they had a bunch of like terrariums. Like just in them, it was not a store. Like then they had like bearded dragons, they had some frogs, and they had some skinks and geckos, and I was looking for the store itself, and it was closed. So I waited a little bit, and they opened. It was like a little tiny, just like here in the US, like I don't know, probably 100 square feet store. And they had a meerkat inside of a fish tank by itself. So people would pay and to take pictures, and I was like, I'm not gonna be part of this. This is so sad. This is like a communal species that is living by itself.
Yeah.
I like from afar. I kind of like made some footage, but was so sad to see that animal living by itself inside of a freaking fish tank. And then on the store, like on the next store, they had a like a cat type of store, like selling cats, and you pay for the hour, like to play with the cats and stuff. And they had a capybara that looked like it had arthritis inside of that thing, like roaming the thing, like it could barely like walk. And they had like, I don't know if it was, I never know the difference between like alpacas and llamas and stuff, but they had one inside of the store in the mall wearing a diaper so he wouldn't poop on the floor. And I was like, I'm out of here. Like this is sad.
Yeah,
completely
like
different
I was
culture.
looking for reptile expos to go to in Asia for Husbandry Pro next year, and maybe a little dibble of Reptile Ads representation while we're there. And I was looking, it's like there's a huge one in China, and I started looking it up, and I was just like,
No,
okay.
I would go to Japan or South Korea. Like if you're gonna go to Asia, they're more refined, like as far as animal shows and stuff. Ralph, China on this when it comes to animals and especially animal welfare, they're not there yet. Like I went to a restaurant, and of course this is culture too. Like that's beside the pet industry, but like they had two turtles, like live turtles inside of like a pot, just like for you to pick and have them cook for you. So I wouldn't go to China for a reptile show. I would choose Japan because there, that if you want to expand like Husbandry Pro, that's where your customers will be if you're thinking about like new users.
So that's what, I don't know. So my top 3 list was China, is what, all my research showed up was the biggest is a pet expo, because, Husbandry Pro next is all animals, not just reptiles. But, I heard, basically what you're saying, it was just like not a good scene. And then, but the biggest reptile expo over there that I could find was the T-Rex expo in Bangkok. And so they had Thailand as a good option. Japan has a few different expos, but my research on that one says that it can be really hard to get into if you don't already have, like, I'll have to look. I don't know how many our logins for Japan are. Very, very minimal. so we'd have to have an in with somebody over there to get in Japan, really. So that's the holdback on that one. A lot more people in Thailand speak English also. So I don't know. I'm looking.
How's the Philippines look on that?
What?
How's the Philippines look on that? There's a lot of English speaking in the Philippines.
They didn't pop up whenever I was looking, but I'm open. It has to be a good market. It has to be somewhere we can advance and get a foothold, and I can go get show up for a week or so and be able to set up some sponsorships and stuff like that, and we can dip out. So it's got to be the right market to spend that kind of money to go over there. That's for sure. We've talked to some people in Korea and a couple other countries, but I don't know. A lot of them just don't have a huge reptile following. But Asia's growing. That's one of the reasons we were looking at that. I kind of want to go to South Africa, but I've been getting shot down on it. Primarily because we're actually doing so well in South Africa. It's like, when I'm sitting there looking at expenses, it's like South Africa is now our second largest country we're in, over even Canada now. There's more user logins every day in South Africa than anywhere else besides America, which, I mean, it all pales in comparison to the American numbers. But I feel like there's more. I think we can go there. South Africa slept on. There's a huge reptile community there. A lot of the import exports, they all roll through South Africa. And, it's a lot more advanced than a lot of people think. And, what
about some of the other African countries?
What?
Kenya and Nigeria, where their economies have been growing hand over foot for decades. Any interest in those? Are they not big enough?
Well, a lot of those, those aren't going to be big enough. But a lot of those countries over there are blocked by a lot of stuff. Like people won't let them use it and stuff because of scammers and stuff. But it's like, that's something you don't run into with Husbandry Pro. There's no scams to be had with managing your reptile collection. You have to pay for the platform to use it. There's nothing to scam about it. And so, we don't have to be locked down for all these places in the world that a lot of, like listings, listing sites and stuff like that are going to have issues with. It's not a Husbandry Pro issue at all.
I got you.
There's always a scam to be made. So they're going to send an email saying that your account has been blocked and you can't log in and you have to pay something or another.
They try to spam us. Like that definitely happens. I get, like it just gets filtered through before I even look at it. I don't even see it, but like sometimes I'll go in there and look and I see it there. Like they haven't cleared it out yet. And it's just like, oh my God, the amount of the spam, like, please click this, please do that. Look at this. I'm from here, here, and here. We're suing you. This is official. Look at this. Like all kinds of mail we get. And I'm just like, denied all of it. It's like, I got one good email out of 127.
They're getting sophisticated. Look what happened to me. So I was looking for a dumpster to get like all of the backyard like branches and like stuff that like I had like pallets for. I probably had like 5 pallets for stuff being delivered here. Like either was a rack or was like cocoa or like I had like 4 or 5 pallets, a bunch of branches. So I went on Facebook Marketplace looking for a dumpster, just a rental dumpster, just to dump the stuff and then they can take away. So I found this company. They said, "Oh, just give me 2 days before you want it delivered." And I was still in China. And I said, "Okay, here's my wife number, just so you can contact her to deliver 2 days prior because she wants to dump some stuff and she has to travel." So they delivered Zell on arrival, like when they delivered the dumpster.
And there was a body in it?
No, wait. So when they dropped the dumpster, the guy that brought it in is like, "Oh, so how would you like to make the payment?" And my wife, "I just made the payment." It's like, "To whom?" It's like, "Oh, here's the contact." And the guy's like, "That's not me." And then he started saying like, who is the contact for this? And like, and I was like, "Who contacts you guys?" So what they did, like, Indians, and I'm not ashamed because we all know they're scammers, a bunch of them. So I contacted them like through Facebook, but you can't tell you couldn't tell that like they actually got a profile from another person that had like a Facebook profile for 20 years. So they hacked that person profile. They put a bunch of ads of the same thing on Facebook. And then what they did is I contacted them. They got a real company that had a dumpster company to deliver the dumpster into my house. So they made me pay them, the scammers, and then the guys that got. So we both got scammed. Like they got called in to deliver a dumpster to my house. I paid a wrong person, and then we both got scammed because the guy said, "Since I brought it to you, I'm not gonna charge you full price. Just like give me the disposal fees and stuff." And then they try like this week, the scammer tried to pick up the content. So it was a double scammer. They're trying to steal the dumpster from this company. And the guy, please do not let anybody take the dumpster. So
Wow. Well, at least you got your dumpster.
oh, I did, but I felt bad for the guy because like he was only doing his job, like a very small company, local. Like he was probably gonna make $100 out of this whole thing, and then he got scammed as well. So guys, be careful. Like I'm not hiring anything else through unless it's like directly through a company that is insured and this. I got the guy's contact now, but
Yeah.
scams are.
If anybody's watching this and you're a scammer, hit up Rafi, man. He's fucking selling to smugglers, going to Mexico. He's giving.
Yeah, there's a common theme
donations
here.
to India
with
for
Rafi.
trash
Yeah,
dumpsters.
it's
What's your
always
email
me.
address, Rafi?
Like, because instead of I'm always trying to save a buck and go to Facebook Marketplace for services. So instead of doing that, I'm gonna start going directly to the companies. So reptile wise, how are you guys doing this season? How are the carpets? Have you had any clutch of carpets? How are you doing on
I'll let
that
Travis
side?
answer first.
Hmm?
We should probably let Travis answer first.
Well, as far as I guess I'll go first. So I've got some good locks. I've got the tri-stripe stuff is kicking now. My tri-stripe male is now figured out what the hell it is he's supposed to be doing.
What kind of
So
pairing?
he's a OD Blade tri-stripe hat clown, and I've got him going to 3 girls. So I've got locks, visual locks on 2 of the 3, and I'm pretty sure there's a lock on the 3rd. The hybrid stuff I'm still working that. I've got really good locks with the Angolan Python male and the OD Dreamsicle. What is she? What is she head for? I have to go look at her card. She might be head for clown. I can't remember. But they are a match made in heaven. If there were snakes that could be in love, these are the 2.
So what's
They
your
are
plan
always-
for that? Like it's already 50-50, right? And now you're going back, so you're going to have 75s. Are you going to be trying to what are you trying to get? Are you trying to get some craziness or something specific from the Angolans and work it into the balls or vice versa?
All right. So there's a couple things going on here. So the pairing that I was just talking about is going to end up with a 50-50 Angry Ball or Royal Angolan, right? It's het pied. Should be, we'll have some visual Orange Dream, right? So, and she's also lavender. So she'll be het pied, het lavender, possibly visual Orange Dream for those 50-50s. Now, I have the 50-50 visual
So
banana.
she's a visual dreamsicle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's going to your visual or your 100% Angolan boy.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
But you've also got a 50-50.
Oh yeah. So I got a whole bunch of other stuff. I'll get to that. So I've got a 50-50 visual banana female, and I'm back crossing her to 100% Angolan. Part of that.
That'll be. I want one of those.
part of that is I want to take that banana gene and get it back into as high a percentage Angolan as I can, because I'm telling you what, at the 50-50, it looks nothing like banana. It's green, it's lavender, it's yellow. There are no black spots, not a one, not a fleck.
So go get it. Like, why? It's just like, if you're just like, I don't want description.
Why haven't I seen this one, Travis?
I don't want descriptions. Go get it.
Travis is
Go.
Hey, I've got it before. Hold on.
Go. I don't like to like be imagining things. Like, my brain.
He's hoarding all kinds of good hybrid shit over there, and just like, he don't say nothing to no one. Like, he's not sending a picture of what he's going to get or anything. He's like, look what I got. You ain't gonna see it till he gets it, because like, you ain't gonna get to scoop it. And it's like, it's bullshit.
He wants to
keep getting all the hybrids. I can't buy nothing.
It does look green.
So there's the visual banana. Now, you can't, this is terrible lighting, but this is a lot of purple and green together. All of the dark here is purple in the middle, green on the edges with the yellow backdrop.
And they're just like so much more inquisitive and, you know, much less of a pet rock.
Yeah, these guys are totally, I love them. They have the beaded scales. They're very outgoing. They eat.
So
like you
more
can
more drought tolerant also, like does better on the shedding.
Yep. I don't keep them as moist as the balls at all. No moist balls here. They
yeah, moist balls are stinky.
And here's the thing, is that this is a high degree, in my opinion, of hybrid vigor. They are very, like, picking this up. This snake is 3,200 grams. She is solid, massively solid.
So we all talk about 50-50, but 50-50 is just mathematics, right? Like, would you consider this snake more of a 75-25? Because like, it's like genetics. Like, even when you have like mom and dad, you're gonna say, oh, like humans, oh, it's like 50%. No, it's not 50% mom. Like, the potential of 50%, but like, you have some kids that look exactly like the dad. Or
getting serious with it now.
So for this particular one, so yeah, the average is 50-50. Mitochondrial DNA comes from the mom. So this has ball python mitochondrial DNA. That doesn't have a lot to do with things like size, but it does have a lot to do with there are some specific gene expressions that are inherent to mitochondrial DNA that aren't inherent to nuclear DNA. I'd have to go and look it all up to tell you what it is.
But phenotypical, like, if you're gonna say, like, because you have both, right? You have the hybrid and you have the pure. Like, what would you rate this snake that you're holding? Like, if you have to rate, like, oh, this is more of a Angolan than a ball python, or I can see exactly.
That's a fucking banana Angolan he's holding.
So when you pair a ball python to an Angolan, and you get those F1s, in my opinion, it's more like a 75% Angolan. Behavior-wise, scales, feeding response, all Angolan, maybe even magnified a little bit. And on top of that, like, I honestly believe there's a lot of hybrid vigor in this, because, like I said, these snakes have like a massive constitution. Like, they're a tough snake. Like, this snake right here is like, it's like an iron bar. Angolans aren't like that. Angolans are very, very reliable eaters, but they are not fly out of the tub eaters, right? They're more of a put it in the tub, let it go. They'll eat it every time.
I don't know, man. My boy's a little. He likes some food. Like, I got to convince him for a half a second that I'm not food whenever I go to get him out. Like, he's pretty serious.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't come out the tub.
I've got a couple that, I mean, they'll all strike and take it, but it's not, in my opinion, I guess I'm comparing them to the berms. So like the dwarf berms that I've got, I mean, you got to put on PPE to feed those guys.
That's,
You know, you gotta
yeah,
start
like some of my
backing-
carpets, man. Like I've got to let them just go ahead and strike a couple times before I go ahead and feed them. Because if I go in for the first strike, it's gonna be me. They're gonna go right past whatever. It can be fucking. I've got like these big, long ass fucking tongs, and they will shoot past that son of a bitch. Like, ooh, your hand looks delicious.
Yeah. And so, and these guys, like I say, the Angolans are very, very reliable. They eat every time. These guys eat more like perms. They will come out of the tub. They are like, let's get it on. You want to feed me something? I'm going to take it. I'll take it every time. So they're, in my opinion, they're better than both. So this girl, like I said, I'm putting her back to a pure Angolan. I'm going to take those visuals, and one off ramp is going to be to increase the Angolan percentage with the visual banana. So I would like to get, you know, when I'm 70 something friggin' years old, you know, 82.5%, 94, whatever, super high percentage Angolan with the visual banana gene. I think that's going to be like a bright green and lavender snake
with the lightning-y pattern and everything.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna be cool.
Yeah. And so the other thing I'm going to do with those is I'm going to take those 75% Angolans, and I've got a het pied female. I'll go get her, and I'm going to put her to the tri-stripe.
Okay, he's gone. I made a whole bunch of snakes. There were a bunch. There's a whole incubator. I made a foul snake. I was like, woo, foul snakes. But only one foul snake. The other egg went bad. The other egg went dead. What else did I do?
Oh, we have one egg from the foul snake.
Yeah, only one
Bro,
good one. Well, I wasn't
is that-
expecting them.
Is
Like,
that your?
I've been trying to breed file snakes for 3 freaking years, and apparently at some point in time I had even mixed them up. You know, when I pair them, because they look so identical. It's like one's just like a little bit lighter shade of black, and apparently I miscommunicated that at some point in time because my boy had eggs. You know, I just went to a point of where I was putting them in there, like, you know, every so often.
And is that your first? Is that your first viable egg from foul snakes?
Yes.
Oh, that's
now
awesome.
I know they lined up with my carpets. So me cycling my whole room, got them to cycle up, and so I'll know when to pair them and breed them and everything for next season. So I'm hoping for a lot better. You know, I'll know when to get weight on them and everything.
Awesome.
Let's see it. What you got there? Is that a 50?
So this is another 50-50. She's het pied. That's all she is. She's going to a tri-stripe ball python.
Where do you keep finding these?
Travs, does it have like the and I know that not all het pied have tracks, but does it have tracks?
Yeah, the very strong het indicator, and I've got 2 other smaller ones. I'll show you those as well. Well, actually, I can.
You don't have one of these. You have
same.
3 of these of different ages.
Yeah,
I hate you right now. You're not sharing. You're not sharing very well. Your mother did not teach you to be a good sharer, Travis.
there's a couple het clowns on Morph Market right now.
Really?
They've been there for a while. I'm thinking about. I'm trying to decide if I want to pick them up. But yeah, the het pied, the train tracks are very, very evident. You can't tell with. So the banana is also het pied. It's her sister, believe it or not. And I mean, obviously you can't tell with the banana, but she'll go to the tri-stripe, the OD blade tri-stripe male. Those guys, that 75% Paul and that 75% Angolan, will go back to each other. And at the same time, I'm going to make visual tri-stripes and bring the tri-stripe into the 50-50. So you can imagine this as when I'm 70 years old, a banana tri-stripe 50-50.
Or maybe Ultramel or Monarch.
Or the Monarch. The Monarch, you know, I've got the burn ball thing going too. So I've got the 50% dwarfs. I've got 2 of those girls. I've got the Monarchs that one of them that I got from you, Rafi. But yeah, it'd be nice to work that in too. But yeah, there you go.
How
Not gonna look good.
how big is your monarch female now?
I haven't weighed her. She's doing good. She missed a few meals up front, but she's eating reliably right now. Your the male you got me likes quail, so I got him. He, for whatever reason, he wasn't taking live ASF.
That's surprising.
I don't know. I put a quail in there and it lasted like all of 4 seconds. You know, you hear the little
So-
chirping and then the
So I remember back in the day in Brazil, I would venture with different prey items, and I would sometimes baby chicks. Even one time I gave like a duckling, and I remember the nastiest poops and feathers, and like how did you like that when you fed quail? Have you noticed anything like liquidy poops or?
no, I haven't noticed it at all. I mean, they seem to be exactly the same. I think they even digest the feathers a little bit better than they do the fur.
Oh, they
where are you
don't
hiding
digest the
this shit?
fur.
I'm on Reptile Ads, and I'm looking for and I'm looking for this, and I'm in the hybrid category, and there is only 8 listings, and there is no fucking angry balls, no Royal Angolans, whatever you want to call them, listed, sir.
They might be on another website.
I've looked at some other websites currently.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, but somebody mentioned that there was they had I think was on Billy's, I think was last week, Billy's mutation creation, my channel, my content. I think somebody mentioned that they had hybrids that had clown.
Yeah,
Man, I wish I had time to watch podcasts. Everybody's like, "This is on a podcast. You see that on a podcast?" It's like, no. When do y'all have time to watch this stuff?
Why do you listen when you're driving?
Oh man. Oh, when I listen when I'm driving, that's when I do all my business meetings.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the time that I leave to work, there are no business meetings going at 5 something a.m. So I just
Well, I mean, you got to realize I do Reptile Ads, Husbandry Pro, Par Parts, and a couple other startups that we're working on. I'm working on, and so it's all kind of on my schedule. And so I schedule all of my, like, if it's going to be some sort of a, over the phone type of thing, I schedule all the calls when I'm going back and forth from my facility, or I'm going to FedEx, or I'm going to, across town to a show or something. Because if I am anywhere, I am 100% decked to doing something, or this damn thing is in my hand and I'm replying to people. Like, I spend, according to my counter, an average of 4 to 5 hours a day replying to people on my phone.
Because that's what I do when I'm cleaning tubs. Rodents is hard because there's too much noise and I can't turn off even though I have AC in my rodent room, I have a fan going on as well to circulate the air. And I cannot turn it off because it's too hot, so I can't watch shit when I'm cleaning the rodents. But when I'm doing the snakes, that's what I do. I just watch or listen to podcasts.
Oh yeah, no, see, and that's why we're of different spectrum, Doc, because I'm out, bro. Like, I can't listen to someone talk and do anything but listen to them talk.
No, I might not do some stuff well, or maybe put a tub in a different space of, and that's why I tag my tubs to the hatchlings. On the mini, I put like ARS mini. I put like a little ID number on each tub, because when I have empty tubs, I might put the tub in the wrong place because I'm not paying attention. So that's why I don't put only on the rack.
Yeah, I do all mine like that. But then when I'm going through and I'm doing stuff, I have a special tag for the tub that I'm cleaning. because I'll have all my empty tubs are open, and I will put a snake back in the wrong one, or like I move the tag to the next one because I'll skip whole rows. I'll like skip an entire rack because someone will call me or text me, and I'll turn around and I'm like, yep, this is where I was at. And I'm like, so I have to like, oh, there's my tag. Okay, that's where I was.
No, I feel you, because I was just, when I came back, I was cleaning, and then especially like on the holdback side, of course, we all know all of our snakes, right? So I was like going row by row on this exact rack here. And then it's like, after I finished, like, oh, I'm all done. It's like, I don't remember seeing that snake today. So of course I opened that tub and it was not clean. And then I looked, the other two on the same row was not clean. It's like, yep, I skip a row. So yeah, I feel you.
Oh man, I mean, I've got I've had somebody who does most of the basic cleaning for me for some time, but yeah, that's the system. Like if there's somebody who skips rows, they have to do it, and I make them do the clip system. And anytime I make them do the clip system, they quit skipping rows. Like it just like it makes you pay attention to where you're at. As soon as you start a tub, you take your clip, you put it on the next tub.
Guys, that's gonna be for more to Zach, because he has like a very different
so
wild variety.
It's a more niche one because there's less people breeding multiple species than people breeding one species. And a lot of people who do breed multiple species of the same temperature incubation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's more to you than Zach, to Travs and I, because we have colubrids too.
Yeah, like I mean,
I would say
the only thing in my building that incubates at any different temperature is my file snakes. And,
yeah, that's what I thought.
And that sucked. I had to take my entire second, which when I put them in there, I had 2 incubators, and I had like 2 clutches in my little incubator, which I mean, my little incubator holds 16, but my big incubator holds 20. And so, but I already had them in there, and I don't like moving them, from one incubator to another. And so I was like, well, I've only got a handful in there, it holds 16, it'll be fine. So I changed the temperatures and everything, set up my whole other incubator for it. So that's where I'm like, yes, it would be received by the people who could use it. They're like, oh my God. Especially if it was like, oh man, like one's got a bigger chamber and a smaller chamber, kind of like a refrigerator freezer, like the old, like a normal fridge freezer. Like, oh, I've got a small chamber up top, a big chamber in the bottom, because I can do a little bit here, a little bit there, or split in the middle. Like there would be people who would want one, but and people who don't care about different ones could set them both at the same temperature. So a lot of it would be price point, would depend on whether or not it's well received and whether or not it works, because you don't want to have a Stillbanks incubator where your heater unit is bad and flexible temps. People have multiple clutches go bad, and then people talk about you behind your back and privately, and then you have to release issue parts that fix the issue. And then people have to fix their own stuff, and then those parts don't work right, and the same issue happens.
Oh my God, that was insane. Like that people spend that amount of money, and no hate to Willbanks, the company and the person.
That's
no. What I'm saying, I'm being for real now. Like we heard a lot of people that had issues, and they lost a bunch of clutches, or they had animals with birth defects because it was too hot or uneven. So it was a tough situation. I don't know how they are on the situation now, but
okay. So I know what they did. So I've dissected the units and stuff, and we've seen them, and it's the heating unit that they had in there. They were bad about, like they get too hot and then they don't cool down fast enough. They weren't dissipating well. And they were burning out. They weren't designed to do that. And they're up at the top. So they replaced them, and they sent people a replacement. If your unit went out, they were, replaced it. Or if you said anything, they're like, hey, here's a new one. But it was a completely different model. You had to do a little bit of some wiring it in yourself, but you had to take your wall off and wire in a new one. And but that one was having the same problems. It's still like it's got a fins on it this time, but it's not enough. And those were burning out also and creating problems as well. So I don't know. I haven't heard of anything since then that they did. That was within the last 6 months. What the new heater unit was like within the last 6 months or so, I believe. Because I've got multiple friends who got new units and they wired them in. But one of my buddies ended up doing his own, and he took a similar unit that he found somewhere else with thicker gauge wires. And even then he had to mount heat dissipating fins to it. And I'm like, bro, you got that thing that ripped that fucking apart? Throw heat tape in the back of it. Just throw heat tape in the back of the son of a bitch.
That's
messing with that stuff and just use the water incubator.
Put heat
use a
tape
water
in the back of
incubator.
the son of a bitch and be done with it.
Yeah, we try to, like, we as humans, we try to modernize things and make high tech when all you need is a heat source, like, and a way to move that air and a thermostat to control it. I have the beverage coolers. I have two, and they work perfect. I don't use the fan that came with it, because was an older one. That's cool. Was an older one, and then the fan that was like was a 120 fan, was not a 5-volt fan. So the fan itself was creating heat, so it was overheating. So I had to take that one off and just like use like a 5-volt, like 20 millimeter, 200 millimeter fan in there.
The problem, and a big part of the problem is units like that, they were designed to cool. The thermal dynamics of them work to cool. And you're fighting the thermal dynamics whenever you're trying to heat that. And even if you did want to heat that, putting the heating unit at the very top of the unit is fighting it even more. It's the wrong way to do it. It's like, if you're going to take it, put it at the bottom of the unit. Allow the freaking thermal dynamics to work the way they're supposed to work. All you have to do is look and see, what does a cooling unit do? How does a cooling unit work? Oh, they got the fans at the bottom, they got the fans at the top and the cooling's at the top. For a heating unit, I need the heat at the bottom and the fans at the bottom. Why would you try to use the same setup for cooling to heat? It's not going to create that. It creates vortexes in there. You get thermal freaking pockets. And that's where you get weird stuff like, well, these hatched okay over here. This hatched okay. Well, I got stuff over here. And then people start thinking they don't know what happened. And it's like,
instead of putting
a Pepsi box and some heat tape, and it's not that hard.
And instead of putting a fan, I put an exhaust fan on top, so it's pulling, because like warm air goes up. It's just like pulling and circulating instead of just blowing down air. It's just like sucking up and then just circulating and always, guys, to me, like, of course, the space is a premium depending on where you live, but I would always have some sort of backup. Like, if you have like high valuable animals, and what I'm saying, high value is not only about money, but stuff that you really care about. Like, what if it's your dream species, or that's your pet that you bred? If you really care about the eggs that you're putting in the incubator, put an alarm, put different probes, like not probes, but put like I have Wi-Fi. I have Wi-Fi Govi that something goes wrong, and I have one per level, because then you can know like how you use your heat distribution inside of your incubator. But have some sort of a backup, even if it's an igloo, whatever you want to call it, a cooler that you can use as a backup.
Hold on. Time out. If you're going to use a cooler, make it a water incubator. You don't have to worry about anything. You've got a massive...
No, use an igloo.
You've got a massive heat sink. Get a PID controller, get a high quality aquarium heater, and you're done. Put your probe in the middle of the cooler in the air. That'll be your reference.
Don't do that. Fuck those aquarium heaters. That's what's in the still banks, and that's what's go out.
No,
and
I'm
that's what
talking
they
about a
don't
good one. I'm not
properly-
talking
they're
about the
designed for-
$39 one.
Even the better ones, they're designed for water. So they
Yeah,
have
no,
water.
yeah,
the
put it in
heat
water.
to
That's what
cool
I'm
them
talking
back
about.
down. And without the water,
No.
He's
Put it in
talking
water.
old days when I used to do that
Use
too
a
in
water
Brazil.
incubator. Big cooler. Put the water. Fill it halfway up with water or a third up with water. Put the heater in the water, and use that to heat your entire incubator.
so I'm gonna go with that. Actually, will work much better than just sticking it on the back wall and blowing a fan at it, like
Yeah.
some other companies. It just doesn't work. I'm not bashing anyone, but it just doesn't work. But I agree with our audience, our illustrious audience. The false wall incubator and
Yep.
old soda fridge never let me down, because I use a false wall in my old soda refrigerator, and I sent screenshots earlier. I don't know if Travis saw them or not, of my incubator to somebody. It's not measurable. It is, my probes measure down to 1/10 of a degree Celsius or Fahrenheit. And I maintain a straight line until I open my incubator, which means that my temperature does not fluctuate. It fluctuates less than 1/100th of a degree. There's zero movement whatsoever.
Yeah.
And any single spot is the exact same temperature. And that is from an old soda fridge, about a $35, $40 AC Affinity fan that I use with an adjustable control speed, because each one, depending on the size, depending on how you do your fake wall, a little bit more, a little bit less speed will be required to be perfect.
So you could do that, or you can just get a water incubator.
Thin, like 1/8" 16 or the 16th inch PVC, I believe it is. And you just cut a hole out for it, slap that on there. It'll fit right on the rails where you used to have the copper tubing, and you put a fake wall on there. It's how Sea Serpent does it. They used to have theirs at the top though, and that's not as efficient. You want it at the bottom, and you want it sucking air down, blowing it up across the heat tape, and then out the vent at the top of the fake wall. And that is the proper way thermodynamically.
Or you
I
get a
have,
water incubator.
I have I have mine in a U shape, sides and bottom, and I agree with Zach. It's better to have the wall, but it works perfectly for me. And I have like
It's over engineering.
0.2. No, I know. It's just like I don't have to create like a fake wall. Like it's just like 0.2 degrees. Like if I have any difference from the bottom to the top is like 0.2, and I move my egg boxes as I have new ones, and those one hatch, I keep moving them up as I go. If I take them from the incubator, I move them up.
You move the box.
Yeah,
That box will hatch exactly where the fuck I put it. Like I'm talking about, I'll stack them at some point when I get full. But if I have to take one out of the bottom, I'm going to replace it with a quarter full water tub underneath it to make sure that box is still in the exact same box, and I maintain a full incubator the entire time I have.
No, the reason why I move is that I know that the ones at the top, like I'm not mixing it up, and mind you, I put tags on both sides of the egg boxes, so I don't mix it up. Like, so I put hatch date, like just the same tags that I put on the rack. I put it this two sides with the pairing and the hatch date, the possible hatch date. So I know like how far are we, and I'm not mixing up like, okay, this is supposed to hatch and this one is at the bottom. So I kind of have an order.
Oh,
You don't have to worry about the fans and the false wall and all the bullshit. Just build a water.
No,
incubator.
that works if you have like one or two
burn ball.
flashes.
We score ADHD squirrely, some bitches. Freaking
Yeah,
go back.
she asked that question an hour ago.
Season to even get to my season yet.
Oh, that's right. We haven't.
Burn balls, Travis. Tell us about
All
the
right.
burn balls.
She's doing great.
Burn ball, boss.
Her current boyfriend is OD Blackhead Cypress, pet clown. I think I got a lock. I think I've only gotten one so far, but they're very cuddly. They seem to like each other, but we'll see.
What is the burn ball again? Banana, bamboo?
Bamboo burn ball. Bamboo burn ball.
Just bamboo, or it has banana too?
Just bamboo. So that's it for that one.
That's all.
Yeah, good point. We haven't even talked about Zach's season, and that Zach was the point of the show.
We're making white burn balls over here.
You're what?
Oh, he was all like, "That's it," and I'm all like, "That's it. That's all you need. We're gonna make some white burn balls over here, some super bamboos. Fuck around."
I don't have any super bamboos, but
so, anyways, I made a file snake. Did I tell you about my file snake?
Yeah. So you had an egg,
and it's all like, but like you can't even get the thing to bite you. It's so sassy, like right out of the egg. I'm like, "Oh, this is great," but like,
oh, that actually hatched.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so, I thought you had like one egg left. I didn't know that it hatched.
No. I had one come out. Like it was the final countdown there. So I ended up with 3 eggs. One went bad like immediately. I could tell. I couldn't handle any veins in there, but I was like, when in doubt, because it's not like a python egg or anything, or these were weak from the beginning. I don't know, because you're talking about there was a yolk thing in there like this big. Here's this long egg with this little yolk thing in here like this. If you get a ball python egg, it's like, boom, here's like 3/4 of it. That whole egg is the yolk when you candle it and shit. And so I'm like, I don't know if any of these are good. And so I threw them in there, and one of them immediately went bad. And then I just looked in there. I was watching them, and they were on day 61 or 62. And I looked in there when I got back from the Reptile Expo this weekend, and there was a little file snake baby in there. And so I went ahead, and as soon as it was in there, I went ahead and cut the other one, and it was milky, murky. As soon as I saw that juice come out, I knew. And so my friend, the new person who's working with me, she cut it open and fished it out and everything. And it was fully formed and everything. So it came close to hatching, but like they got really dehydrated. I had to save them with some sphagnum moss and stuff, because, like I wasn't expecting them. She didn't even look thick. She still ate. And then she just like, oh, boom, dropped 3 eggs in the middle of her, just dropped them in the middle of her. Didn't nest on them. She was over like, here's 3 eggs randomly. And she's like over here. And I'm like going to clean a tub, not expecting. I'm like, oh shit, here's 3 eggs that have been here for, potentially up to 5 or 6 days now. And they were all sunk in and bad. So
how big or how small are the babies?
I'll feed them up good and everything. I'll know when their cycle is for next time. And I'm like, I got one. 3 years of breeding. I finally got some.
How big or how small are the babies? It's just like a charging cord. But is that like the thickness of like a charger, like a cheap Chinese?
Actually, a little bigger than you would expect. I mean, literally about like one of the smaller like metal pins or something. Not like a big fat pin, but like bigger than I expected.
Yeah. That's why I asked. Like some babies, even though the species are not like large, the babies sometimes are
python babies. Not as long as my carpet python babies. They're more noodly, but bigger around than the carpet python babies that just came out a couple days ago.
I have to look up
since you're telling me that I look medicated, and you're not at the beginning of the show, I just came back from China, and I'm trying to adjust to the time zone. And last night I haven't slept for 1 second, so I just took a nap before the show. But even though like my ugly mug is worse than it usually looks, so it's hard for me.
The nap does it. It's like you'll be like, oh, I'm tired, but you don't look half bad. But then you take a nap and you wake up and you're like,
is that your file?
Basically, yeah. It's shiny and it's got, so they look kind of like a dragon snake, the little dragon snakes, but they don't have quite as much. They don't have the scalation. It doesn't continue onto the head, but they're triangle shaped. That's why they call them file shape, file snake, because they're shaped like the old school triangle files. Plus, they're also extremely keeled scaled like the dragon snakes, very, very keeled scaled. with good separation in between them too. Like you can actually usually a lot of times see the skin in between every single scale. When they get stuck shed, like it gets like stuck per scale.
That's
Like, I don't know, it's weird. Like like
So
they will.
what do you like about them? What is like I know nothing about them. What sell it to me?
Basically, you can't even make a file snake bite you. Like you can't. They feel cool as hell. They don't get too big. Like, like this is like, to me, a perfect animal, prime animal for a pet market, because they get like 3.5 to 4.5 feet. They're not super big. They're semi to fairly reclusive. They like to be under leaf litter and stuff like that, but they're not necessarily like when they're little, they'll burrow a lot, but if you give them a good hide, they'll do that. And, but they will come out. They're not like, some of the other burrowing snakes that you never see, like sand boas and stuff like that. Like you will look out there and see them around the water bowl, see them crawling around a little bit. So with some handling, they're not super flighty. They can be flighty like a colubrid, but only if you haven't handled them at all. But even with just a little bit of handling, they're relatively calm. They're more like a boa inquisitive level. If they like you and they're calm, that's their exploratory level, is like more like a boa speed, slow, checking stuff out. They'll kind of burrow in your arm and stuff and basically kind of snuggle with you, kind of like a ball python will hang out with you. They like to be dark and warm and stuff and buried a little bit. So they can be good like couch snakes, as long as they feel warm, and you just watch out because they will go for the couch cushion if they can get there maybe. But they feel cool. Like, people want dragon snakes and shit, but they're killing all these things. They're importing them. They can't keep them alive. They're hard as fuck. It's like, it's something that's, way crazier killed scale than a hognose, but it's got that kind of thing to it. It's a little bit bigger snake in case you're wanting something like that, but you want to go with something a little more size to it. Humidity, you get to dance into the humidity range where now you got to start messing with something that's a little bit more, I'd consider more intermediate than advanced level. Because humid hides will save you wonders, but they can do all right in a fairly moderate humidity zone as long as you give them a good humid hide.
So how humid do you have to keep them?
Honestly, so they stay in my facility, which stays relatively humid most of the time. Their tub environment is usually 50 to 70%, depending on the day of the week, because I mist everybody weekly. If they're in shed, I drench the crap out of them, but they also have a humid hide in there. And every week, I just turn all the bedding in there, and it's like crazy inside of there. It's probably 80-90%. And they'll spend a good chunk of their time in that humid hide. And you can do a whole humid environment for them, but you need to do like something pretty crazy. Like, and this is one of the things that's good about them too. If you like doing like bioactive and stuff like that with leaf litter and stuff, these do exceedingly well, in some system where, because underneath that leaf litter holds your humidity well and stuff. So you can actually have them in an environment that's like 50-60% humidity, but in those microclimates of, a more naturalistic terrarium, vivarium type of settings, it'll be 70, 80, 90% humidity under the leaf litter and stuff where they're hanging out. So it I don't know. It makes them a little easier to care for than some of the other, like way easier than my rainbow boas. But they like more humidity than the ball pythons, but you don't have to have the whole thing right. So
where are they from? Where do they originate?
Africa.
I mean, Africa's kind of big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that continent.
Yeah.
Right there.
It's a big continent. Like
it's right in that part, like there.
The crossy part. They're the crossy file snakes, the crossy area. I know that.
But choke artists.
You got Cape file snakes. There's a few different types of file snakes from a few different areas. The most common file snakes we have here are the crossies. And they're generally just like a solid black to a purplish hue. There are some morphology. April with How Snakes Morphs has proven it. Like they'll have the purple tongue, like there's a melanistic, and they'll have a purple tongue instead of a pink tongue, and they're like a purplish color instead of a black color. or vice versa. I don't know. So there is a little bit of some morphology to them. There's some stuff to be worked there that's, being found. I think they are also in Indonesia, some species. I don't know. Someone's going to tell me I'm wrong here. I should know better, but shut up. I made a file snake. Leave me alone.
You don't know much. So JT says, what age should they be? What's the breeding age? He doesn't know, JT.
They actually mature pretty fast, like a colubrid. Like, I mean, you can have them breeding at 1.5 years, 2.5 years. I'm more like 3. I'm more like 3. Yeah, female. Mine were wild caught when I got them. They were of unknown age, but they are the same size they are now 3.5 years later. So, so they were basically adult of some age and size, but yeah, you're looking for them to be like 3 foot plus really on your females. 3.5 feet is where they're getting to be that good mature size for them. That's about your mature adult size for a female. The males, obviously a little bit earlier than that. Where I had success with cycling them and breeding them like my boas. That's what I did. I temp cycled the whole room, and literally just 6-degree temperature cycle, in the winter time, same hot spot.
All right. So you kept the hot spots the same. Your ambient. What did you do with your ambient? You went from what to what?
I went from 78 to 72.
Okay.
And
what else did you have in that room?
Oh, I take that back. 8-degree swing. 8-degree swing because I went to 70 this year. That's everything. I did the whole room. It's pushed my feet. It's pushed my ball pythons forward. I actually pushed. I got my carpet python clutches. 2 of my 3 carpet python clutches, or actually no, all 3 of my carpet python clutches moved up at least a month and a half. One of them laid right at 8 months and 28 days from the time she laid before that. I moved them up considerably. Like I didn't know I could move them up that much. But I managed to get them all to cycle. I got my boas to cycle, and like it made everything cycle. The ball pythons, they're still crazy all over the place. It did seem to make all of my first timers. Like I've got my clutch average is like fucking 4 or like 4.2 or something right now because it's all my first timers. It pushed them all to go at the beginning of the year when I've been having an end of the year season for the last 5 freaking years in a row. And that's what I was trying to do. And now I'm seeing some of my end of the season ball python girls. I'm getting some 10 month, 9.5 month clutches coming now from some of my proven girls. So I think it worked. It's looking like it worked. I'm hoping I don't end up with a bunch that absorb and I fucked them up. But I know I moved a bunch way forward by shifting my season and doing a hard, 8 degree temperature drop this year for 3 months. I didn't feed anything in the room except for the ball pythons. I've a couple grow ups. I fed some grow up stuff. But if they were breeding that season or going to be breeding the next season, and it wasn't a ball python, they did not get fed for 3 months. They did not get fed for November, December, and January. And then I bumped my temps back up and I fed everybody. And that's gotten pretty much everyone to go. I was disappointed. I was expecting to get my breadlie to go for me. That's the only one that didn't go that I expected because she is 6 years old. The temperature swing, I did a 6-degree temperature swing the year before. I went from 78 to 72. And that's when I got all my carpet python girls went, and I got a big, huge brettle clutch. And everyone told me that I wasn't going to be able to get a brettle clutch without going colder than that. But
what time can I ask? I thought you had to have a more drastic temperature cycle for the brettles.
Well, and I was talking some mad shit, like y'all are all fucking full of shit because I did a 6-degree and it worked. And this year I did an 8-degree, and this 6-year-old girl still didn't go for me. And I cycled her with the rest of the room last year, but I don't know. She blew up big like a balloon, and then she just and absorbed. And I was like, It might also have been because I pushed so hard and I moved my season up so much, and it was going to be her first time to go. You know what I mean? So I'm not sold that, because I dropped it 2 more degrees. So I'm not sold that it's like I didn't get her cold enough because I got a 30 egg clutch with one slug from my bredal female the year before with a 6-degree swing and a 72-degree drop and a 72-degree winter.
Just to stop in there. So to answer choke artist, I'll send you the t-shirts after Zach sends me the baseball cap from Reptile Ads. So that's a promise. Once I get the hat from him, I'll ship you the shirts.
And what about my
And
shirt,
to be
Cameron?
What
And
shirt are we talking about here?
so when I first started creating the shirts, Chad actually from Choke Artists, he ordered some shirts from me, and he said, "Oh, like let me know, I'll pay you like a." I actually bought the double XL just for him. Like didn't have like double XL shirts, and I never shipped the shirts. I never charged him. Like I printed the shirts and I never shipped to him. So he was telling me that he's still bitter with me that I haven't shipped the shirts. So as soon as Zach send me a Reptile Ads hat, I'll ship you the shirts.
Oh, way to just blame it on, just blame it on all on
No,
Zach.
no. I'm not blaming this, but blame is on me. And the only guy that breed berms here is Super Dwarf Berms. That is Travis.
Yep. So yeah, we got a few questions here in the chat. I think Amber wants to know how Zach's brittle is liking him. She's not. I don't think she likes him at all. That's my thought, just based on
What?
Zach talking about how she's kind of giving him the cold side snake.
She might have been asking about my file snake. I was showing her my file snake. It's a new baby. I'm
Oh,
excited.
it's a file snake? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Can we see it? What do you want to see, Amber? The brittle or the file snake? Or Amber's not going to want to see a damn picture, Zach.
You are not at the facility, right?
Yeah, no. Freaking that's the downside. It's freaking 30 minutes away from the facility since I bought this house and shit.
I mean, we don't have anything to do. We can wait.
Dude, no. I have to work when I get off of here. I gotta do stuff and things on Reptile Ads and work on some things, and I don't know. I don't want to do it. I might not.
No, you're not going to get
Nothing's
it.
broken tonight. I don't have to. It's great.
Let's see.
You know how many of Doc's snakes I have, and he's never given me a T-shirt.
So if you want to work, and it's not showing like the contracts, it's more purple and gray. That is like, it's actually, that's what if you want banana in your thing, you have to add hypo and black pastel. Where is my freaking gray hat? I don't even, screw you, Zach. Where's the gray one?
Hey, at least you know I didn't give your hat away to nobody.
You still got it.
Bro, mail me a hat box.
What a hat box? Just put in a bubble wrap like envelope
It
from
won't fit in the
Amazon. Like
bubble
a
wrap. I tried.
It
I was
will.
like, I can just stuff it in the bubble. It's like, no, you're not stuffing this in the little small bubble wraps. It's not fucking happening. And I was like,
Get
so I
like
was yelling
one
out- I
bag
was
from
yelling out
like
to
I
everybody
use.
else. That's literally everything I have that's a swag item fits in a bubble wrap mailer, except for this fucking hat. And I'm like, I gotta like order some boxes or something so I can fucking mail a hat. And I'm like, that is, ADHD procrastination. That one barrier makes it like impassable for me. And I'm just
That
like,
one
I
teeny
need this
little extra thing just
I've moved
derails
it
the
around
whole
my
entire
house.
process.
Yeah, like I've moved this around my house because I've got two. I've got a black one and a gray one, and I know exactly who they're going to. And I keep moving them
Can
around.
I get one?
Like, see this. So I'll
Well,
see it when I go out the door.
wait
and,
in
like,
line, Trav. Wait in line. I wanted to advertise him
I
like
got.
on my
I've got two.
channel.
No more
What am I?
Like-
Look, guys, look up in the upper right corner. What the hell is up there? Reptile Leads, right there.
Well, see, and I got to say, to your credit, Travis, Doc, what's on Travis's head right now? A hat. He wears a hat. Like almost, I think every time I see him, he wears a hat. He's a hat guy. Have I ever seen? I don't know if I've ever seen.
That's the purpose. I was gonna wear just for you, and you haven't sent it to me. Or send me a damn t-shirt. Fuck it. Just like I'll wear the t-shirt. Like just I'll like if it's so hard for you to get like a box, like an Amazon box that you get from used stuff, and you can repurpose it and send me underwear. I'll be wearing a speedo like on my channel. I'll wear like a speedo with like Reptile Ads in front of it.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna make your night, Zach. You fucking owe me a shirt.
That's awesome, Todd. Thanks.
All right,
Reptile
I'll see
Ads.
you in Daytona to collect it. You know, we had meetings, hours of meetings over Reptile Ads, Reptile Ads, Reptile Ads, Reptile Ads. Like, oh, there was a point where my partner told me that if I said Reptile Ads or Reptile Ads one more time, he was pulling out and he was done. Like,
That's
like,
why Travis does it
rebranded.
for you.
So
Well, the color scheme for the actually helps a lot. Like the color separating the reptile from the ads. If you had all in the same color, that would be a bust.
Is that two different colors?
you know, ultimately it showed up to Reptile Ads was confusing to some people, and Reptile Ads was more direct. Like 98% of people who see Reptile Ads understand that there is reptile advertisements on Reptile Ads.
No pressure pythons. It's not Reptile Ads.
Stop.
Right there,
Stop,
Reptile
Travis. Stop. Or if you don't stop, I'm going to start calling you a Python pussy. So
What do you mean start? I have chat evidence that you've been calling me that for a while.
Dude, so I'm chugging back species over here, man. Like, this is my year. Like, I mean, last year was a good year. Last year I knocked back a couple. You know, like, and not just snakes, just reptile wise, you know, a couple lizard species I got knocked out and stuff, a couple snake species. But so far I've added the file snakes to the list, to the repertoire. I've successfully hatched file snakes. I've successfully added the Saracenoma geckos, or no, I got the Saracenoma geckos in like November. I got those last year. I successfully knocked back my first clutch of pure Irian Jayas just crawled out today, or is in the process of crawling out today. They all pipped. All 13 have pips. So I'm like, yeah, 13 out of 13. First perfect carpet python clutch I've had. I've lost at least one. Well, I've lost one and had an egg go bad on every single clutch so far. And so this was 13 out of 13. So that was good. So I was happy about that. And it's nice to see they're all red. Like every freaking one of them's red. Like, cause I've hatched like the Brettles, you know, like they don't look the same as the carpet python, as, you know, like my jungle and my jungle stuff. And then my jungle diamond stuff and my jungle coastal crosses. But then my pure Irian Jayas come out a completely different color than the rest of them. And I'm like, what? Like, I thought I had something for a second, but then I realized I'm just dumb. They come out red.
Now, how many carpets do you have?
We don't talk about that publicly. Like,
No?
no. Like a good amount, like a decent amount, not a shitload. But
the perfect amount,
more than anything else except for ball pythons. Is that an acceptable answer?
not too much, not too little, just right.
I mean, I could have more. I could have more. Give me some carpet pythons if they're nidovirus free and you just can't handle them. You just send them to me and they'll have a good home because I need some more. Because this is good season making up for shitty season, because my 5-year-old carpet python, I'll throw it on blast, from Corey Martin, that she produced, that was supposed to be a female, ended up being a male, went to World War III with all my other males. And so like I was out, no shots for pure jungles this year. And those are really expensive and hard to get as adults, but cheap as crap as babies. So that sucks. And then my next shot for Pure Jungles was 3.5 years old. And she's what I consider irreplaceable because the guy like burned everybody in the hobby and got out. But that's irrelevant. He was a 20-year guy who had badass animals before he burned everybody and got out. And I got like one of the culminations of his freaking work, which was awesome. And she got freaking cancer like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Like I was pretty beat up about this one. She was my favorite. Like I got her out a lot, and like I don't get emotional about reptiles very often. You know, like I get attached to my mammals, but not my reptiles as much. And but no, she got a lump, and I thought it was a granuloma from a bite. And I saw it before I left to go to the Colorado American Reptile Expo and the Plant Expo. And I came back, and by the time I came back 4 days later, the whole back half of her body was completely doubled in size, swole up. She was paralyzed from that bump back. You know, I went.
I'm sorry, man. That's
I took her to our exotic specialist, and she did a little quick biopsy, and it was, you know, black, jagged, misshapen cells rapidly dividing, and it's like, oh yeah, nope, we're calling that. So I had to euthanize her, and so I'm sad about that. You know, even beyond, you know, the loss to my projects and stuff. You know, I mean, she was one of my favorite snakes, and I hate to lose anything. That's the first one I've lost to cancer, and so that was rough, and especially at a young age. But fucking cancer's a bitch, and it gets everybody now. So that set me back. So now I'm another year back on my next nice Pure Jungle. She's 2 years old and was a slow starter, so she's like the size of a yearling. So my Pure Jungle projects are fucked. So the Erie and Jayas came to make up for it, and I got good IJ clutches out of that to save for it this year. My Brettles let me down, but my like big Jungle Diamond Girl gave me 33 again, you know, after 31 last year. So like I had some pitfalls, but I had some snakes come in and save the day there. So I still ended up getting a good, you know, Morelia total umbrella of 3 good clutches, which is what I got last year. I was hoping to get more, but I was able to knock back an extra species in it and get some good reproduced pairings on some good stuff. And boas, I should have my first boa litter soon. Like, oh my God, I thought this girl was going to pop over a month ago, like a month and a half ago. I was sending people videos of like, oh, look at the scale separation. She's so huge. And this is Cheesecake. Cheesecake is the name of I have 2 pet snakes out of like 300, and Cheesecake is one of them. She was I had her before I even bought my first ball python, you know, like 7 years ago, 7.5, almost 8 years ago. And so she's like a 7.5 foot, you know, mostly probably dominantly Colombian, just big pastel het called boa, and she's huge and, you know, lean, but still a big freaking boa. And, you know, this is going to be her first litter, and, you know, and I keep them loaf of bread. You know, I keep my boas in good shape, and she is just like from like, I don't know, probably where the like heart or gallbladder area would be back is just like, whoa. And like there's more area between the scale separation than the size of the scale. And I'm like, if I pop her, babies are going to explode everywhere. And I'm like, so I don't know.
When did you do it?
Gonna pop. I don't know. Like it's my first boas, and it's in maternal, and so like I should have done better about clocking it out, but I have everything clocked for egg layers, and I didn't know.
So you're not 100% sure, but you know it's obviously soon.
I know I'm gonna have a real serious mess to clean up.
Yeah, sometimes you have them really big, and you think you're gonna have like a massive litter.
They just come out all massive, baby.
Or you have a bunch of slug, stillborn, and you have like 5 viable babies. It happened to me before, so it's very common. It's just like, but it just takes time. Like ball pythons, you get this slug right away. With boas, you'll be waiting 150 days and just like, oh, thank you. That's what I want to
legitimately cry. If I don't cry, it's only because I'm so medicated that I can't.
No, but the good babies make up for. And to be honest, like if you never had a a litter of boas, you don't want like a 40 baby litter like of
No, I
boas.
do, because I was supposed to have a litter from my 7.5, 8 foot big, huge sun glow. And like, I just think she might not be no good no more, because I've heard that can happen. And so the guy I got her from, he bred her when she was 4, which is a little on the young side. And she slugged on him. And she didn't go for me last year. But I didn't do the pairings right. I didn't put the boys in at the right time. I fucked up. But she didn't go for me this year either. And like, they had good enough size. I did everything right. My other ones went, and I corrected what I did wrong. And so I don't know. 2 years in a row, she's not getting a third. She's out of here as soon as she has another 5 days to digest that 3-pound freaking rabbit.
So JT asks if there are any black morph reptile species that
Stay small.
stay small.
I mean, Mexican
python.
black king snake's not a morph, but MBK is like a good. Let's say if you want,
MBK.
if you want black.
The file snakes, I mean, I'm not selling the one file snake I got, but I'm hoping to, now that I've produced them, I will immediately be looking to pick up more and start, like, I don't want to go 3 or 4 deep on breeders and stuff until I've figured it out, because I don't like spinning my wheels. And I got to see how easy the baby is to start.
Are they captive born, the parents? The parents are imports or captive born?
My parents are imports. It's hard to find captive borns, like every once in a while. April comes off of them, but she does her releases so weird, like, because she gets so many people who want them, and she is dirt cheap. Like, I mean, $300 for a captive bred whenever the wild caughts are $250. It's like, it's insane. There's no reason, but because of that, she sells out the day she posts them. So you have to like sit there and bug her. And then whenever she says that she's about to post them, you then have to sit there and refresh her website every day, like 3 or 4 times a day, until she actually posts them and happen to click and happen to buy them before they sell out. If you want one.
FOMO.
No, dude, that's how it is. Like, because the price she charges on them it's super, super cheap, and nobody else does it. There's only 2 or 3 people in the U.S. who really breed these things, and I don't know if anybody breeds them at the level that she does, and even that's not like a high level. I don't know exactly how many she has, but she sells out so fast. It's like,
so Todd, I only vend at for now. I only vend at Southeastern Reptile Expo, because it's just like in my backyard, so it's easy for me. And considering that I have a full-time job, is hard to be like traveling. Like you basically a weekend show, you lose the entire week because you have to travel, you have to prepare. So like all this stuff, it stays behind. So I only do 2 times a year the Southeastern Reptile Expo here in Duluth, Georgia. Zach is the one that
He's a road warrior.
does more shows, because he does it full time, kind of full time, because he has Reptile Ads and Husbandry Pro as well, and so.
But no, I won't be at. It's Schaumburg at Tinley. It's not Tinley. It's it's a whole entirely different set of vendors. It's a whole entire like. But no, so we're not doing it. We're doing.
I've been to Schaumburg and it sucked. You can't compare it to Tinley, to be honest.
Well, but that's what they did. They're like, they decided to cancel Schaumburg, and then they filled Tinley for the date. I mean, it was. It's going to be a good show, because there's a lot of local people and stuff, and it's going to be a great show. It'll probably be a touch bit more pet focused. I wouldn't expect as much of, people flying in from all over the place for it, just because that's the vibe I got when I was there. And, there are some big vendors still coming from out of place. So there might be a little bit, but there was way, way more local people, and like, they still have tables available right now. So
to be honest, June for me, if I would have to vend in June, is probably 95% 2025 hatchlings, my
Yeah.
season, I'm starting to have like the center of my clutches. I'm starting to have now like the center of the curve. So I wouldn't have any 2026 to vend if I was doing the any kind of June show. So August is kind of, I would prefer if SCRE was at the tail end of August, so I would have more. But I'll have some stuff already hatched and established to take to.
Yeah, for me, that's way too far. It's 23 hours. So all my vending, if I decide to vend shows at all, is going to be from me west. So 8 hours, I can do like Las Vegas, Salt Lake City.
Is Pomona far from you?
Pomona's about 13, 14 hours.
Was
If I wanted to do it that, no, it's longer than that. That's
I drove to Pomona from Texas. You can do it.
shit.
Pull into the trailer.
By the way, Travs, like, when are you gonna come here? Like, you said that you're gonna come, like, visit SCRE and stuff, and nothing.
April.
Well, I ended up moving.
You decide to move and change jobs, like you're not prioritizing things, man.
I will come out there, but as far as vending goes, I mean, maybe I'll ship you some snakes and we'll do it that way, and I'll fly out. But yeah, not to set up my own thing, and that would be insane.
No, but even to come and attend. I mean, like, sometimes I usually go to Tinley once a year just as on the fall show.
Amber says the file, y'all reading those late. I'm not sure what she means by that, but that was
Y'all are
No, because of her
all the
comment.
comments on time. Y'all are putting them up like 10 minutes, 15 minutes late. I'm over here
Well,
like
'cause-
answering people.
because we're on the topic, so I can't move ahead until you guys shut up.
We don't move
Oh, see,
ahead.
it's our
This
fault
does
for
not
him.
move ahead.
It's
We
our
change
fault for
topics
him
every
being
5
slow.
seconds. We don't. There's no finish line here.
So yeah, so right now my burn ball is down the street at my son-in-law's house as I get all of these cages and everything set up here. But she's still doing good. Her boyfriend is doing good. They're over there. It's a way to suck my son-in-law into this. He thinks that snake is the most fantastic thing ever. So he's very happy to babysit her while she's over there. So it's free labor. I hope they don't watch the show. They don't watch the show.
Yeah, like Todd said, though, there will be, if you're local to the show, if you're going, there will be different vendors because there's a lot of people who are in there for the first show. I would beg to say probably at least over half the show will be new vendors who aren't normally in there, which will counter a little bit of what somebody said, about June shows not necessarily being the best, because what you're running into is you're getting leftover snakes when you're going to a show in June. Usually, you're getting stuff that's already been picked through. All the good stuff's been left. But now you've got at least, probably 50% new vendors in there. Some of these vendors may have been holding on to stuff or didn't have other shows. So even if it's left over or picked through, they might be coming from an area where that project's overworked and devalued, and it comes new to an area. So something like that can make it where, it's a good show to pick some stuff up. And end of the season is always a good time to make a deal on something, for people looking to shop at shows at that time. A good little tip for buying from the other side of the table is, ask for the birth date. And I guarantee you, vendors who are staring down a 6-month baby versus a 1-year baby are a lot more flexible on that 1-year-old baby. So, when I did a lot of shows and stuff, well, I still do shows. If I'm buying snakes and I walk up to somebody's table and I see something high priced, top shelf, little bitty, just hatched like the last month or two, they're probably a whole lot more proud of that than the one that's way over there off the side, that's bottom shelf, that's like 300 grams and like 6 months old, 8 months old. And I'm like,
Yeah, to me, it's all if it's a good,
size on it.
to me, if it's a good female, for example, like you have those animals that you're on the fence of selling, right? Like especially the females.
Yeah. There are a lot of holdback releases this time of
And
year.
and then you're like, am I gonna sell this or not? And the other way around too, you have something for sale that you were on the fence that you put up for sale, but it's already 700 grams. Sometimes I say like screw it, like I'm not anymore. It's more valuable than to breed it than to be selling at a discount. So usually for females, to me, like it gets to a point that is not. If I haven't wholesale sold it, I'll just skip it because was something. For example, I have a female. It's a double visual hat. So it's DG hypo head clown. She's getting around 500 grams. Like it will get to a point that I'm like, I'm not selling anymore. So like I'm putting the breeding plants.
Well, now's a good time of year for show goers who are looking for adults and stuff too, because now's whenever you'll start to see, some of the first wave of holdback or, of pre-lay or post-lay releases.
Yeah, but pay
Yep.
attention, guys. Like you're buying. Ask. That's another thing that is important. Ask when that female laid because you might be buying adults thinking that you're gonna breed pretty soon, and you might have to wait depending on how long, like 6 months to start breeding.
I'll counter a little what you're saying though. Like I get what you're saying. It is correct. You want to know when they laid and stuff, but I think the direction you go with it, or a lot of people think with it, is let me get something that's about ready to go. I want the one that just laid, because the one that just laid, I can get to my house into her new environment. She can have time to adjust to the new atmosphere, sync up with the other girls. And if they're a couple months off of her either way, her cycle will have time to line up with theirs. And I've had much more success getting another clutch out of those. And I want to have the opportunity to feed that thing back up to size the way I want to feed it up and food cycle it also, because I do a little food cycling on top of my temperature cycling.
Wait, hold on. You think that the females key off of each other when it comes to their annual breeding cycles?
Oh, they herd. They absolutely herd. I've done it long enough to see like girls who start, like they breed throughout, but like as they keep breeding, girls will push out a month or go forward a month, and they all start doing this. And it takes a few years of seeing the same girls next to each other to start seeing them like this. But it's like, and when I get new girls who lay, a lot of those new girls will lay at the same time. They'll cycle up with each other. And if they're off kilter from the main herd in the next couple years, they'll either cycle up and move a couple months, or they'll fucking skip a year or two on you. And then the next time they do go, watch it, check your record, check your husbandry pro, and you'll see they didn't go annual like most girls do. They skipped a year and a half to fall in line with the rest of them. And it happens.
Interesting.
But they breed all throughout the year. I've only had 1 year out of the last 5 years where I didn't get at least one clutch per month. But at the same time, every year, like at least 60 to 80% of my clutches come in a 4 or 5 week window. It's like they're trickling in. There's this, it happens, like there's a little bit of one-offs, like they don't need a whole lot to go, but now they seem to be lining up more with me cycling the building is kind of pushing them a little bit more.
Oh, I was gonna say it's more.
They were doing a lot more sporadic stuff, but they still like over half of them would always lay in like a 3 week window.
To me, is more of your microclimate inside of your room than them cycling each other. Like you're kind of creating literally a microclimate, humidity, and even though they can feel the barometric pressure like from the rain and stuff like that, you're still like creating this environment. And my room is probably warmer than Joe Mo from down the street, and like humidity and stuff like that. So
the big deal for me, what seemed to move a lot of stuff, is whenever I quit keeping them on my house AC. because on my house AC, they follow my Texas season, and Texas has a weird fucking season.
Yeah, I don't have
You
AC.
know, and so like, especially like ball pythons and other animals that require very minimal, you know, like their average temperature swing is 2 to 5 degrees, you know, so they don't need much. So what they seem to line up with more then is whenever you go from turning your air to AC to heat, you know, like that time of year, wherever you switch from AC to heat, like our AC, you know, they're not usually the most scientifically dialed in. And so when you're running 70 at heat and 70 at air, you're usually a couple of degrees off from each other. And you throw in the fact that a lot of people like to be a little warmer in the winter or cooler in the summer and stuff. And you end up with a natural swing in your house that they line up with. And so when I moved them from my house to a facility and I started changing my swing and my temperature on a set timer instead of with the season of, you know, the environment outside, it fucked up everything. I went from 31 clutches to 15.
Well,
Yeah,
but
I'll be curious to see what my year looks like after moving, but at least for my overall cycle, like as far as follicular development, I don't see anything over 10 millimeters until April, this month, maybe May. Like I'm at 5 millimeters, maybe 8 millimeters, January, February, March. Get nothing. Like all my clutches came between October 31st and December 31st.
Shit, that's
And I
even
didn't
later
have
than
that
mine.
many. What's that?
Shit, I said, shit, that's even later than mine. I mean,
Yeah, it
technically,
was
I got my last clutch in December, like a couple days before Christmas, you know, but it had been over a month since I had gotten one.
Yeah, mine was December 31st. It was the last one, and October 31st was the first one.
So do y'all, what do y'all do on y'all's? I count that as the first clutch. I count by their projected hatch date. If they're projected to hatch in the new year, I count that as the first clutch of the year.
Yeah, whenever it's laid.
Because I assign them an ID number after they birth, and you know, and I base that off of what year is it right now. So I just always wonder what, you know, it's a personal opinion. What do you do there? Is it the last clutch or the first clutch?
no, it to me is when it's hatched, not when it's laid. So
Yeah, I mean,
if it hatches January 1st is the first clutch of the year, because it makes it easier to. So I don't have to guess.
Yeah,
basically.
You heard it here.
Everybody wants to know the hatch date. They don't care when the clutch
you're
was
wrong.
laid. So everybody wants to know the hatch date. They don't care when the clutch was laid. So yeah, I do the same thing whenever it's hatched. So those were my laid. So my first one was laid in October 31st, and my last one was laid in December.
Yeah, you fucking live in Canada, so.
I just pulled my, I think 11th clutch for ball pythons yesterday, Sunday night when I got home. I pulled my 11th clutch for ball pythons, and I'm probably expecting 20. I'd love to say 25. I would expect at least 20 more, but I've paired for another 37.
No, that was my number last year, 37.
No. I paired 67 females this year.
No, fuck no. Like, I was telling Trav, like 30 might be my limit, like for like work wise.
But you know, like I don't expect like it, you know, my first few years I had 90 to 190-ish to 100% hatch rate, but I run so many first girls, you know, and I'll breed them. If they cycle, I'll breed them. I do it more on their cycling and their age. If it's their second cycle, I breed them. I don't use scales. I don't do any of that shit. It's like, I know when they have their first cycle, because you can tell they go off food and they absorb their follicles. That's their first cycle. That's their first heat. It's like the first heat for a dog. You don't breed them then. And so I breed them their second cycle. And I don't know. I don't feed my girls. I don't grow them up super fast and stuff. I have a lot more higher success rate with the second time I breed my girls. Like the success rate goes way up. The first time I breed them, not so much. I used to have better success because I used to rifle food down my girls and stuff. But man, when I rifled food down them that much, I had more birthing complications. I lost a couple girls during birthing. I had a higher clutch count for it, but I didn't sleep as well at the end of the night when I'm looking at the end of the season, and I'm like, man, I'm losing a lot of girls and stuff, and so I quit pushing so hard, and I don't lose near as many girls. I don't my hatch or unproven breeders, they still go. Like once I get them to go, they still go. Like whenever I used to rifle them in them first, 3 to 4 years. But like, I don't know, I felt like they were kind of burning out and stuff. And like, I was burning through my girls. Like it seemed like it was taking more of a toll on them, like that they had that alcoholic look on them. Like they've had a hard life and stuff, after 3 years of dropping 16, one girl dropped 16 eggs in a row, 3 years from me. And I was just rifling them in her, and she just like blew out the third year. And like, I felt like such a piece of shit. And it's like, and it's like, I feel like I pushed them too hard and stuff. And I've had better success rate, better birth rate, less slug outs in general, because I would get some big monster 16 egg clutches, but I had a higher rate of girls who would just flat ass slug on me who were fat as fuck. And I don't have near as many girls who aren't super chunky anymore, and they don't seem to slug near as much.
And
now, do you push food on them when they're building follicles, or do you just stick with the same? Okay.
Yeah, I quit doing the strict schedule that everyone prints out whenever you're beginning. That says I need to feed it every week. I'm weighing every rat. It's like, your snakes are going to get fucking fat, bro, and you're going to get them up to size really quick because breeders wrote them bitches. and once I started backing off just a little bit and looking more at how their natural food cycle flows and stuff, like after my girls lay, well, when would they lay? Or after their babies hatch. Well, when their babies hatch, they're designed to hatch when the most food availability is. And that's when they would eat the most. So I feed them a little bit more right after their babies hatch. It helps them get their size back on. Well, those babies have to go ravenously eat. And that's why your babies are much more active and go places, because they have a limited window to go and find enough food to survive the upcoming drought season where there's not going to be any food.
Right.
And so in the summertime, which is basically my season falls with the summertime. So in the summertime, after they've got a little more size back on them, I back them off, and I'm feeding my ball python females every 2 or 3 weeks. And I'll feed them a little more spaced out. And then whenever they, the summertime rolls around, that's whenever they would start building again and putting weight back on. Whenever they start shooting out of the tub, it's sure enough, as soon as I get the first female shooting out of a tub, that feeding day, there's going to be 5 more that are starting to shoot out of the tub. And, with a larger collection like Rafi's got and stuff, I know he's just like, they do, well, he says his doesn't line up as much. Mine seem to line up a pretty good bit. Like a good chunk of them will start shooting around the same time. And,
what I'm saying is that
I'll feed, and that's when I'll feed them weekly. And sometimes if, they're still looking on my bigger, like 3,000, 4,000 gram older females, that I know are going to give me big clutches, I'll double feed, because that girl's not going to have the size she needs to drop 12, 13, 14 eggs if you're not giving her, a little something extra. And people be like, oh, you're overfeeding. It's like, that chart's talking about an 1,800 gram girl, not a 3,800 gram girl.
Yeah.
Get over the chart. It's a basic guideline.
Well,
and guys, be mindful if you're starting now. Project your eggs according to your pairings. Don't think let's say that you have 30 females and you start pairing 30 females. Oh, I'm gonna prepare 30 because I think that 15 might go. Think that you're gonna have 30, because if you have 28 clutches, you have to move those animals and you have to be feeding, pair exactly what you want, and then you're gonna have those misses. But don't think that you're gonna have, oh, I'm pairing this because I'm no, if you're pairing 30 females, just think that you're gonna have 30 clutches, because you have close to that, you were prepared for it.
Yeah, you don't want to plan off of, someone you're listening talk to like me who's had, is on their eighth breeding year. And because it's going to be different, like, my first year, I scrambled 3 years in a row. I scrambled, like Doc says, because I listened to all these people talk about, like, oh, ball pythons, they've got like a 60% go rate, 70% go, the good guys are getting 70. And it's because we're rolling all these and stuff. And a lot of new people are getting breeders, especially people buying in with breeders. If you're buying proven breeders, realize why there's a premium on a proven breeder in a ball python versus other species is because a lot of ball pythons might go 5, 7, 9 years plus without ever dropping a clutch. Whereas a proven breeder statistically in ball pythons, 80 to 90% of the time will lay the following year. So it's a lot more valuable. So if you're buying proven breeders and you're coming into the hobby and you're like, oh, I'm pairing 10 of these, they say I'm going to get, 50, 60, maybe 70%. It's like bullshit. You buy proven breeders, you're going to get 9 out of 10 of those are going to go, if not 10 out of 10. And you're going to be scrambling, sitting there stretching heat tape across plastic shelving with some freaking Loctite 6 quarts that you had to run and go buy at Walmart in the middle of the night. And you don't want to be that guy.
Unless you have an issue with your males, Zach is right. Most of the girls, they go. But for example, even if Zach would get 50 clutches out of the 67 that he paired, he knows he can handle it and he can sell it because he has the outlet. What I'm saying, if you're starting out, don't over pair it. Like, pair what you can handle, and 10 clutches for someone that is starting is a lot. It's a lot. You're gonna have an average of 60 animals extra to feed and to find homes for. So don't look at numbers. Look at what you want to accomplish. If you start looking at the, because like you go to Kinova, they're having 350 clutches. Will Bank is probably having what, like 600, 1,000 clutches. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing now, but don't look at other people's numbers. Just like do you, and be happy with what you're doing. Learn first. You have a few clutches on the first year, maybe just one to see if you like it or not, and then you can think volumes.
1 to 3 is a good first year to kind of dabble your toes, get some experience. Like one's a little ish because maybe you don't get it and stuff. You want to make sure you get something. You really want to dabble and like have something to sell and stuff. Like 3 is a good number. You're going to be able to sell at least a little bit to people who have followed you, people who, family and friends will 9 out of 10 times. If you just post a picture a couple times on any social media of your snakes and that you paired them, your first clutches will be sold before they've even hatched from friends and family. And, and then you got to get a little bit of a mock experience, and it's going to be grossly different when you have more later and your friends and family don't want it anymore. So get ready for that too.
My son-in-law would be totally into it, but my daughter is not as much. So there's a balance.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Stuff.
All right. Well, it looks like we're outlasting our viewers, so it's probably a good time to wrap things up. I know I can't operate on 0 sleep for 19 days like Rafi, so I got to go to work in the morning.
I've got to go to work.
Whoa!
Right now.
And for you guys,
15 minutes ago.
And for you guys, it's 10 p.m. Or for you is Zach, for you is 9 p.m. now.
11.
Yep, it is 11
for me.
None. Yeah, for me is 12 past 12. So
yeah. So all right, guys. Well, hey, it was
work.
Zach still got to go to work. Yeah, it was a great show, Zach. It's always fun to have you on. Awesome energy, awesome knowledge. I hate to say this, but you're slightly better looking than Doc, so that's a plus, in general. I mean, the bar is low, so.
I did just get a clean up and everything for a show this weekend, so I'm looking extra crisp. Doc's, probably not been to the bar.
I'm looking rough. I couldn't even find my beard trimmer.
Grain of Doc looks rough all the time.
He was fighting off dogs just to get to the bathroom, just a week ago.
At
Yeah.
least my mom says I'm handsome, and my aunts and stuff. So
Yeah. Well, that's where it stops. But good luck on Reptile Ads. It's doing great. Love the app.
Go download the app. Go check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Eventually, we'll have some sort of discount codes or whatever they're going to do.
We got to charge somebody first, guys. Go check it
gotta
out.
make
Go
a
buy
little
some
bit of
stuff
money
for
first.
free. If you don't look at it now, you're going to want to look at it whenever it costs money. And then you're going to be like, damn, I wish I'd have looked at it when it was free. Somebody give it to me for free. And I'll be like, it was free we made it free for a year. Get over there.
Yeah, that's right. Doc, get some rest.
yeah, we will for
And
sure.
what do you have to say to close us out, Doc?
Say it again.
What do you have to say to close us out?
And I'll see you on the next one.
See you on the
Bye.
next one. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming.